Yogurt, Cheerios, and applesauce are just some of the go-to snacks people feed their young children every day. But are those items really what you want them snacking on?
According to the American Heart Association, people ages 2 and up should eat no more than 6 teaspoons of added sugar per day. That's sugar that's not naturally occurring in foods and is instead added in the manufacturing process. And even if you don't sprinkle sugar on your cereal, there's probably a lot of sugar already hiding in that bowl and many of your favorite foods.
Dr. Nicole Avena is a research neuroscientist, food addiction expert, and author of What to Feed Your Baby and Toddler. Dr. Avena joins us live in studio this morning. Welcome. Thanks for being part of the show.
Thank you.
So in my house, I have Cocoa Puffs and Lucky Charms. So when my children look at Cheerios, that's like broccoli to them. You know, like this is healthy, but you're telling me even Honey Nut Cheerios, not really necessarily the best.
Yeah, you really got to watch out. So even in the plain box of Cheerios, the yellow box, those are the best option. That has about 1 gram of sugar per serving. But if you look at some of the fancier brands, like, you know, the Honey Nut or even the Very Berry, which looks like it might be healthy because it has fruit in it, they actually can have up to 4 teaspoons of sugar per serving. And that's talking like almost half of what kids are recommended to get each day.
So if a child eats this every morning, maybe even a snack at night, it all adds up.
It does add up, yep, for sure.
And they also develop a taste for the sweet.
Exactly. And so I recommend that you opt for sort of the lowest sugar cereal that you can find. So a good option is actually General Mills Kix. They tend to have the lower sugar than some of the other brands that are out there.
Let's talk about another popular food. We made the decision very early on to give our little babies the same yogurt my mom eats. Mountain High, plain, whole milk yogurt. Why is there even yogurt for babies and so much of it is sweetened?
Yeah, you really need to watch the sugar content. Even in the ones that are marketed for toddlers, you can see up to 9 grams of sugar in one serving, 1 4-ounce serving. And so that's a lot. That's about 3 teaspoons of sugar. And so the better option, like you suggest, is to take plain old yogurt, and if you want to sweeten it up a little bit, add a little bit of the fruit puree or add a little bit of honey, and you could then control how much sugar your baby's getting.
Now, sugar is a problem, but what about portion size too? Does that play any role in it or not? If you have, like, you had a bowl of that and that's it, you know, and you had a small bowl, is that, you know, that's okay?
Well, certainly the size that's put in front of you is going to dictate how much you want to eat, whether or not you're an adult or a kid. So I suggest that if you're offering your child a snack of Cheerios or something else, give them a small amount in a small bowl, and if they want more, you can refill it.
So what about the Yoplait there? Because that's another popular item in our refrigerator. You know, we've got stacks of these in there.
Right. So I showed this as an example to compare it to the toddler version, and this is really more like what we would maybe give an adult, but you have to really watch out. When you have the fruit mixed in already, it can really make the amount of sugar go up. And so this has 19 grams of sugar in just 1 cup.
And that's a lot?
Yes.
That's about 5 teaspoons, right?
Yeah, that's almost more than what is recommended for the entire day. So you can see how easily by breakfast you could surpass the amount that you're supposed to be consuming.
Are kids do they come with a natural attraction to sugar? Because
they sure do.
Because my kids, even though we didn't give them a lot, they naturally gravitate towards sugar and cookies. Is that?
Yes, that's biological. So their brains are programmed. We're programmed to want sugar, to crave it. And so really that's why kids are really drawn toward these types of sweet products. Also, food products that are really super sweet, we taste it as sweet, but kids don't taste it that way. Their taste palates have to develop to taste it the way we do, so it takes time.
You've brought some of those little fruit cups, and I've noticed in the supermarket, there's the regular ones, and then there's the light, which you might think is better.
Right.
But it has some added chemicals in
there. Right. So you really need to be careful when it comes to fruit cups. So for example, if you were to just buy your regular old fruit cup, it has a ton of sugar. These have 6 teaspoons of sugar per serving. So that's 100% of your daily value. And it's because sugar is added to the syrup that is in there. It's not naturally occurring sugar. So you really want to watch out. The light version is less in sugar, but you have to keep in mind, by light it means it's adding artificial sugars, artificial sweeteners, which really aren't the best and not necessarily something you want to be giving to your baby.
Artificial sugar like stevia, you frown on that?
I say sweetness in moderation altogether. I really think if you want to sweeten something, try to do it naturally with things like blended fruits. So if you have fruit purees or even baby food purees, I tend to keep them on hand and use them to sweeten up even my food when I'm having something.
I think I'm failing this test in front of us, but I think the one thing we do that I'm proud of is we do have a lot of good fruit in the house where we just chop it up and dice it up, no matter if it's apples, oranges, whatever it may be, bananas. Like that's the best option for us when it comes to fruit, not just mixing it in, making an applesauce in a plastic container.
Right, exactly. If you can make it at home, it takes a little bit of extra time, but that's really the best way to make sure that you're controlling the sugar intake and getting it in a healthy way.
What about the almond milk? We've got that too. My wife drinks that, but my children don't.
You need to be careful with the almond milk. Almond milk is great. However, you have to watch the sugar content. There's a lot of sugar added to the almond milk, so you want to make sure you opt for the unsweetened version of it.
I bet you're a proponent of a recent push to have foods labeled with not just grams of sugar, because regular cow's milk has a lot of sugar.
Right.
We're talking about added sugar instead of naturally occurring sugar.
Yes, and that's some new policy that'll be coming out. You might have seen it on some of the new nutrition facts labels on some products, where it has to be shown how much grams of added sugar are in each product. And that's important because naturally occurring sugar from fruits and some vegetables is healthy and great, but the added sugar is the stuff we want to really try to minimize.
But you got to admit, Cocoa Puffs are pretty good.
Once in a while.
Every now and then.
Once in a while.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for the honesty,
Thank you so much, Dr. Avena. Nicole Avena, thanks for joining us.